The story of Nigeria's most notorious armed robber Abiodun Godogodo Egunjobi, the one-eyed monstrous bandit who terrorized Southwest for over a decade. When the history of crime is told in Nigeria, names like Lawrence Anini and Ishola Oyenusi would top the long list of the most notorious criminals that ever lived. There are of course many others, with most of them dominating regions and having short reigns. Take Abiodun Egunjobi aka Abi Godogodo, the hefty bad man who forced himself into national limelight. Nigeria has suffered and overcome big crimes. Oyenusi in the 1970s, Anini in the 1980s, Shina Rambo in the 1990s. Their atrocities didn't last more than 5 years. But the reign of Abi Godogodo in the early 2000s was one of the biggest and longest runs of terror in the history of the former British colony. While those before him captured and terrorized 2 to 3 states, Godogodo traversed the 6 states in the southwest including Kwara and Kogi states, visiting terror on his victims. This placed him at the top of the Lagos State Police Command's list of most wanted criminals for more than a decade. Born in Adan, Ogun State in 1977, Godogodo, which means hefty man, took to crime after absconding from his parents' home to live in Gatankova, a slum in Abule-Egba, a suburb of Lagos. Here, he sold alcohol and cigarettes for survival and would later meet a gang of robbers who kept their bag of guns with him. When they lost one of their gang members, I was co-opted into the gang, but I wasn't satisfied with what they were giving me after each operation, so I joined another gang, Godogodo told crime fighters, in September 2013. He was thus inspired to form his own gang, growing to become one of the most notorious robbers ever, wreaking havoc across entire southwestern Nigeria. One of his most brutal operations was on Sunday, September 9, 2012, when his gang unleashed terror on Ojeje, Ikeja, and other parts of Lagos, killing policemen and residents after robbing Bureau de Change operators in Ojeje. We robbed from shop to shop and we also shot sporadically to scare people. We shot at people who tried to block the road and prevent us from moving, he told crime fighters after his arrest. For more than a decade, the one-eyed robbery kingpin wreaked havoc across the southwest, killing many police officers and carting away their rifles. He lost count of how many he killed. Godogodo lost one eye after an operation at Ijoko, Ogun State, in 2009 during a gun battle with members of the Odua People's Congress, OPC, a local vigilante group in southwest Nigeria. Bullet hit one of my eyes. It was at Ijoko, Ogun State, 4 years ago, he told Daily Independent in August 2013 after his arrest. I don't know the particular area in Ijoko, but it was about 8 p.m. When we were operating in a residential area. We were 6 armed robbers. In that operation, we got money, phones and a laptop computer before Odua People's Congress, OPC, vigilantes blocked us. It was during the shootout between my gang and the OPC men that I was injured. He continued to sustain gunshot wounds. But for security reasons, he did not treat the injuries in Nigerian hospitals. Godogodo traveled to the Republic of Benin, the home of one of his 3 wives, to treat his wounds. Unlike other men in his class who took to alcohol and drugs to cover up for their cowardice, Godogodo said he denied himself certain pleasures. I do not smoke, I do not drink like other robbers, I do not live a flamboyant life like others, I do not wear expensive dresses and gold chains like others, even though the money was there. I do not use expensive cars like others and I do not go to parties and nightclubs. He had discretion and was extremely careful. But he was a thief and murderer who would eventually get caught. Once arrested, Godogodo confessed to his numerous crimes and made revelations that proved to be sensational. Once I come to a church, I donate to the church like buying musical instruments for them or providing any of their needs and leave. I would not come to the church again, and this was to avoid being caught. Godogodo met his Waterloo on August 1, 2013, when he was arrested at his home in Ibadan by operatives of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, led by Abba Kyari. His arrival at the police headquarters in Ikeja sparked wild jubilation according to him. He was restless on the day he was arrested and decided to sit outside his house. Unknown to him, the police had laid siege on the area. That morning, my wife called me to come and have breakfast, but I was just restless, I couldn't eat. I went to sit outside the building where I was just thinking about my life when one of the residents in my neighborhood came to seek financial support. As we were talking, I saw a Toyota Sienna drive to the other end of the street. Ordinarily, like and subscribe for more news.